Hey everybody, it's Amy, and I'm here to introduce myself. My name is Amy Campbell, and I have been through a lot in life. I'm like 55 years old this year at my birthday, so double nickels, and been through a lot, and I just wanted to share things I've been through and how I've gotten through that. And hopefully it will help you through some things in your life that you're going through, or you have gone through, or you're stuck in, and need to figure out a way out. So that's what I'm here to do. I've been through things like having a baby when I was 18, so I was pregnant when I was 17. I was a single mom, got married, got divorced, got married again, had a blended family, went through a couple bankruptcies. I've been through depression. I've been through stay-at-home mom and tried to babysit to make a living. I've been through nursing school. I've been through beauty school. Didn't graduate from beauty school though, but what else? I've been the CEO of a home health care company. I've built that home health care company from the ground up. I've lived with psychological abuse. I've been depressed. I've been very happy. I've been successful. I've gone through natural childbirth. I've had a C-section. I had a car towed away before. Cops knocking on the door in the middle of the night. I've had a horrible, messy house and just not felt like getting it cleaned up. I've been constipated. I've been through a lot of things, and probably many, many more, as I'm sure you go through lots of things throughout your whole life. So I just wanted to get on here and start with talking about how I changed some of these things. So I thought I would come back every week and just share some other things about how I have gotten through this life and came out on the other side, give you some hope, and maybe a little bit of laughs. So I want to start about talking about the number 3. Now, the number 3 is an important number. I'm sure you've probably heard it all through your life, but have you ever heard of death comes in threes, or a genie gives 3 wishes, or like on that TV show Charmed, the power of 3, like those 3 witches came together, which I'm not into that. But I remember seeing the show, and they would always say the power of 3, and they'd put their hands together and poof, they could do something a lot more powerful. So the number 3, so I started researching it because I'm like, the number 3 comes up a lot. So I looked up, and in math, get this, in math, have you ever thought about this? The number 3 is the only number in all the numbers that the 2 numbers that come right before it added together equal it. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So I thought that was pretty wild. In time, you have past, present, and future. In life, you have birth, life, and death. In religion, there's like the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In writing, this is so weird to me. So it's like an ancient Greek writing technique that I learned in high school from my teacher, Mrs. Paquin, about writing in 3s. So what you do, and I do this every day with every speech I write, every essay I write, every presentation I write, anything I want to present to somebody, I do it in 3s. In fact, the speech I'm doing today is going to be in 3s. But anyway, so what Mrs. Paquin taught us was to have an opener that kind of hooks people, about what you're going to be talking about, what you're going to be proving to be true. And then in the body of it, you make 3 points of why you feel like that's true. And then in the end, you just kind of wrap it all up and recite those same points again and how they made your opener true. So turns out that's an ancient Greek writing technique, and I can't believe that that's what she based that off of, but that's probably what she learned too. In fairy tales, you've got the 3 bears, the 3 little pigs, the 3 blind mice. In nature, you've got earth, sun, and moon. And in memory, think about it this way. When I meet somebody for the first time, To remember their name, I'll chunk it in threes. So I'll say their name 3 times when I meet them. Say it out loud 3 times. Jessica, Jessica, Jessica. So then later on throughout the day, whenever I see Jessica, I'll say her name to myself in my mind, because if not, people might think you're crazy. So in my mind, I'll say Jessica, 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 Jessica. And by the end of the day, or by the end of the evening, if we're at a party or something, I can remember her name. And people are always amazed that I remember their name, but that's the trick to it. So remember to say it in threes. We've also established now that how important the number 3 is in daily life, by all of those things, across all genres, across all parts of life. So let's talk about 3 things that can better your life. And I wanted to tell you that I use just a dollar store planner to do this. So just go out to the Dollar Tree, get yourself one of those student planners, okay? It's got a calendar in it. And then after like say the month of January, then it has the days of January with some lines on it that you can write some things, okay? Or you can just do it on a regular calendar. Just get one that has, you know, the big decent sized squares in it, because you're going to be writing some stuff in there. But get that. Or you know what, times change. Maybe you don't want to mess with a planner anymore. Maybe you've got it on your telephone. Maybe you've got a notes section or a planner on your telephone, on your cell phone. So just use that. It makes it a lot easier. You're whipping that out all the time. So but just make sure you have somewhere to write down your thoughts. So number 1, I want you to realize that we have to have some things that we're thankful for every day. And when I say that, I mean, like, when you wake up, you might be tired, you might have had a long night, you might have a hangover, you know, you might, whatever it is. But you need to wake up and get your life going. And the best way to do it is to be thankful as soon as you get up. So I know many people use this technique, and you know, some of them say you're thanking the universe. I say you're thanking the creator of the universe, God, you know. But either way, just think about it like that. Be thankful for what you do have instead of complaining about what you don't have. So like, sometimes I'll get up in the morning and I'll just say, thank you for waking me up, God. Thank you that I'm still alive today. Thank you that I have a roof over my head. Thank you for my job that I get to go to, Not everybody has a job, so thank you, God. So, you know, those are like the 3 things, and it just makes yourself so much better. So I write those down on my calendar right away for that day. 3 things that I'm thankful for. Don't knock yourself out. Don't make it hard. I mean, you can be thankful for just about anything. The air we breathe, the water we drink, that your brain works so well. I mean, think how great your brain is. It's like a little computer. So don't make this hard. Just think of 3 things that are good in your life that you can be thankful for. And write those down in that calendar on that day. And then at lunchtime, when you take your lunch break, get your calendar out or get your phone out and read those things to yourself again. Read them out loud if you can, because you hear yourself and you believe yourself the more times you say it out loud. But say it to yourself over and over. Those things that you're thankful for, say them at lunch, and then say them again before you go to bed. I did explain how, you know, you can be thankful to the universe, you can be thankful to God. The more we're grateful and thankful, the better we feel about ourselves, but other people can see it too. So like the other day, somebody did something nice for me at work. Shout out to Janice. So I wrote her a little thank you note on a sticky note. Just thank you so much for being there for me and helping me get lifted back up, you know, because I was getting really stressed out. So, and she knew it, and she rolled her chair over to me and she talked to me and said, just calm down, do one thing at a time. We can only take one step at a time, you know. And I was so thankful to her for that. So I did. I wrote her a thank you note and I left it on her desk for the next day because she was gone by the time I got out of there. But have you ever noticed when you're thankful to somebody or when someone's thankful to you that you want to give them more? The more thankful they are, the more you want to give them. So think of like when you give somebody $50 for graduation and then they thank you so much for it. Like as soon as they open that card, they're like, oh, thank you so much. I need this $50 to put towards my college or whatever, and then they send you a thank you note later. You are more apt to think about that person and maybe when they graduate from college, give them $100 or, because you know that they're going to be thankful. On the flip side of that, if you send them $20 for their birthday card this year and, they never say thank you, like you wait and wait, like maybe they didn't get it yet, maybe it got lost in the mail for a minute, but they never said thank you. So maybe you mention it at a family get together, like, oh, I hope you had a happy birthday or whatever. They still don't say anything, When their birthday rolls around, you're probably not going to send them another 20 bucks. Maybe nothing at all because they just weren't thankful about it. So it's like, it didn't really matter that much to them. So why do it? So always be thankful about everything. And then if you notice some waitresses, like at Olive Garden, for instance, I remember a long time ago, they used to like give one of those Andes mints for every person that was at your table when they brought the bill. And then, you'd tip 20%, like, oh, they gave me a chocolate. They were thankful. That's great. Then maybe another time you go there, same waitress, and she's like, oh, you guys, I remember you from the last time. I'm so glad I got to be your waitress. Thank you so much for coming in today. And she gives you like double the amount of mints this time. So like everybody gets 2. And so then you're really thankful. You're like, I'm going to give her a really good tip. She gave me more. I'm going to give her more. And I mean, actually, this is a tactic that they've learned. The next time, they're just going to give you a whole handful of mints and just say, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I remember you from last time, whether they do or not. But that really makes you feel like, oh, I'm going to give 30%, or I'm just going to give them, $25, no matter what. I'm going to give them $25 more, or whatever it is. So, that is one way that you can see that by giving you more, you gave them more. And by being thankful, you gave them more. You appreciate that. And so you give back to them. So that's just a little story that I have actually noticed when I go, to a restaurant or anything. Number 2. So number 1, write down everything you're thankful for. Number 2, let's get some goals going, okay? So there's just something about us as humans that when we set goals and we think about them a lot, we try. There's something that just boils up in us and we really try to achieve those goals. So I want you to take that same calendar and I want you to write your top 10 goals for this year. Now they could be for this year, but mix in some of them for the next 5 years or for the next 2 years or whatever it is. But make sure there are some for this year too. Mix it up a little bit. Put those at the top of the calendar. So like I've got a calendar here and so if you take this calendar and up here in this blank space, just put your 10 goals. Write them up there every month. Before that month gets here, write them up there. It's usually good to do it on a Sunday night, but write all your goals up here, okay? And then every day when you say the things you're thankful for, also go over your goals, your top 10 goals. But when you do it, think about this. Don't just say, I wish for $1 million. I wish I weighed 140 pounds. I'm going to never eat chocolate again. crazy. That would be a crazy one. But anyway, write your goals as if they've already happened. So I am 140 pounds. I am debt free. I have $1 million. I have earned $1 million. I am blessed by God and favor follows me. That kind of stuff. I am. I have. And here's a good story about that. When you think about this story, it's going to blow your mind. So Jim Carrey, he was just a regular person before he became famous. And his dad always taught him, you know, Jim, whatever you want in life, you need to set a goal. You need to set a goal, you need to write it down, and you need to keep it in front of your eyes all the time. So Jim, taking his father's advice, he wrote down a goal that within 5 years, by Thanksgiving 1995, he would make $5 million. So he wrote that down. He wrote a check to himself for $5 million. Actually, I think it was $10 million. He said, by Thanksgiving 1995, I'll make $10 million. And what did he do? He took a blank check and he wrote a check out to Jim Carrey for $10 million and, you know, signed it the universe or whatever. And down in the memo, he wrote, for my acting services. And so he folded that up and he put it in his wallet. And once he went to the grocery store and pulled out his wallet, he would see that check. When he got gasoline, he pulled out his wallet, he would see that check. Back then, they didn't have the good old debit cards, you know, it was still checks back then. So he saw that check every day. He kept it in front of his eyes. And he thought about that every day. Jim Carrey, $10 million by Thanksgiving 1995 for acting services. So he saw that every day, all the time. And he repeated it out loud. I've got $10 million. I got a check for $10 million. And every day. Well, in 1994, his dad passed away, sadly. And when he went up to the casket, he took that $10 million check that he had written and he put it in the casket as a tribute to his dad. Guess why? Because he had already started making, by that time in 1994, he was already one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood, making $20 million a film for films like The Mask, you know. So he was making that 10 million plus. And it was just because he kept reciting that in his head. He kept seeing it every day. And he gave that back to his dad as a tribute because his dad was the one that taught him that. So now I'm teaching you that. Write out a check to yourself for whatever amount it may be and you've got to not just tell yourself, but you've really got to believe it. You've got to believe in your heart. You've got to be excited about it. You've got to be like relieved about it and, put that out there, how relieved you are. Be thankful about how relieved you are that you have that. Be excited. I'm excited to live in my dream home. It's so beautiful and so comfortable and it's everything I ever wanted. And it has a bar in it with bar stools and it faces into the living room and I have this huge screen TV and I have a bathroom that I love in my dream house, that has my own toilet room and my own bathtub with a beautiful window. Of course, I'm telling you mine. But yeah, that's one of my dreams, is to live in my dream home. So I tell myself I am doing it, and I have pictures. I totally do. I have pictures. Let me show you this real quick. So here's some pictures of my dream home. Do you see that? My Christmas lights, my basement with the big screen TV, what my bedroom will look like. I hope you can see all of that. My bathtub. Anyway, yeah, that's my dream. And I've got it up on my bulletin board and I keep it in front of my eyes every day and I recite it every day, how I'm going to have those things. how I have that. I already have it, and I dream about it. I sit and daydream about walking through my house and what it smells like and what it looks like, and the high vaulted ceilings and the beams in the ceiling, and all the things that I see on Chip and Joanna Gaines' show, all the lovely things I see in their homes. And I I believe that. I believe that God has given that to me because he says he will. And there are even scriptures talking about that, and about how he will make sure and give you everything that you need, but also he wants to give you life and give it to you more abundantly. Some people think it's the universe, they think they're manifesting these things, and that's what they believe, and it works. It really works. So believe that you do have it, and it will. Keep it in your vision, so put some pictures in your calendar also. There's always a note section, or the back cover, inside the back cover, inside the front cover. Put pictures of your dream home. Put pictures of all that money you want. Be specific. I have one that says I have $3,000 by November 1st saved for Christmas, so I can go Christmas shopping and not go in debt for it. So there's just something, there's a natural drive you have in yourself to go for those goals, and you will start working towards those goals. It's natural. And then the third thing that I'm going to tell you to do is at night, after you've recited what you're thankful for, after you've recited your goals, then also write down 3 things you're going to do tomorrow. 3 things that you are going to do tomorrow to achieve those goals. So if it's being the best RN there is, I'm an RN by trade, then write down something. If that's one of the goals you want to pick from to do tomorrow, especially if they're work goals and you want to do something at work tomorrow, I'm going to, in the first hour, make sure I assess all my patients. I'm going to make sure I get to eat lunch tomorrow because that will give me energy to take care of people. And when I get home, I'm going to clean my bathroom so it looks nice, for the next day. So easy, simple, 3 little goals like that you're going to do tomorrow. And then tomorrow, when you write down what you're thankful for, read over those things that you're going to do again, and then read over your goals and recite them just like, they've already happened, like you've already got them. And I am telling you, I would challenge you to do that for like 30 days. Start out with 7 days. You just start feeling so much better about your life. You realize how much you have to be thankful for. You realize that you have goals, and you want and need the energy to go after them. And then you're planning something every day to go after them. Do you know studies show that if you do that, if you write down 3 things that you're going to do tomorrow, studies show that you will at least get one of those done, if not all 3. So, wow, write down 10 things, because you'll definitely get at least one of them done, So, and here's the thing. Before I close, I want to tell you this. If you don't get all 3 of those things done, if you don't get any of those things done, it's okay. Things come up. Give yourself grace. Tell yourself the next day, one of those things is to get these 3 things done. And then be done with it. We used to call it the 3-second rule when we coached girls in softball. It's a 3-second rule. Yeah, you can be mad at yourself. You can kick yourself for a second or 2 or 3, but 3 seconds is the limit. And then be done with it. Go on with your life. Be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for what you were able to accomplish and that you got through it. But these things will save your life. They will change your life, I promise you. And this is just the beginning. I've got plenty more to tell you in other recordings, but this is just the first one, and I dare you, I double dog dare you to do this for 7 days. You'll want to do it every day. I mean, truly, I want to do it every day now. So just get back on here and tell me how much better you feel in those 7 days, because I I I am sure that if you do this, you will be more successful, you will be happier, you'll have a great life. I promise. All right, see you next time.